Assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد سيد الخلق أجمعين. اللهم ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وارحمنا واهدنا واهد بنا وعافنا يا ربنا وارزقنا وبارك لنا اللهم فيما أعطيتنا وأنت الرحمن وأنت الرحيم. اللهم يا ربنا أعزنا ولا تذلنا. اللهم ربنا أعطنا. اللهم ربنا أنت الكريم ونحن الفقراء وأنت الغني وأنت العزيز وأنت الكريم. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا صلاتنا وصيامنا ودعاءنا. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا أعمالنا في رمضان واجعلنا يا ربنا من عبادك الصالحين واجعلنا يا ربنا من المقبولين. Inshallah, today we will be discussing, inshallah, the juz' number 27, inshallah, starting from Surah Qaf all the way to Surah Al-Hadid. Surah Qaf all the way to Surah Al-Hadid. And these, few surah revolves around a general concept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after the 26 part of the Quran, the previous parts, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fully explained to us the deen, the parameters, the good, the bad, the evil, the benevolent, the what to do, what not to do, gave us stories about the people before, gave us an end game for people who act in different ways, and on and on and on, all the way. Now we're going down to the last three parts, the last three juz' in the Quran. Juz' 27 is dealing with one, generally speaking, talking about decisions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to us, this is the deen. I've been talking about it for 27 juz'. This is all the rules about this deen. And now time for decisions. You need to make, decisions. You need to make choices. You need to look at things in perspective that is your whole destiny is revolving around these decisions you're going to be making. Let's go through these surah, inshallah, one by one. Surah Qaf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and subhanAllah, you notice the three or four surah, it all starts by swearing by something. I swear by the Quran, wal Quran al-Majid, by the Quran al-Majid. بل عجبوا أن جاءهم منذر منهم فقال كافرون هذا شيء عجيب. They're surprised to get a deen or something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from a man from amongst them. Is this surprising to them? And they said, if we die and we were dirt and become back to dust, and then will we come back? That's the way for us to come back. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the decisions of what is you going to go through, that you have to make a decision. When the decision you make is either the path to Jannah or the path to hellfire. That is what Surah Qaf is about. You notice that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after He talks about His creation, talk about the Quran, talk about what He has given, and on, and talk about all those. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this ayah number 16, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ وَنَعْلَمُ مَا تُوَسْوِسُ بِهِ نَفْسُهُ. We know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no, we have created man, and we know what is the waswasa, what is these, the act of, when the shaitan makes waswasa to him in his mind about which path to do, what to do. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the two angels that are sitting there to hold you accountable for your decisions, for your actions, for your deeds. Raqibun Atid. One on the right shoulder is Raqib, the other one Atid, the one who writes the sins or the bad deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned us about the day when the Sakratul Maut, when this moments of drowsiness or the moment of complete shakiness of death when it comes to us. And He says, at that point, is that this is what you're trying to avoid, but it's coming to it, it's coming to you anyway. وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ is blown in the horn, and that is the day of promise. And everybody will come with a sa'iq and shaheed. Somebody will drive him, somebody will guide him, and somebody is a witness on him. And He says, لَقَدْ كُنْتَ فِي غَفْلَةٍ. You were not focusing on this day. You did not make the right decision. He says, فَكَشَفْنَا عَنْكَ غِطَاءَكَ فَبَصَرُكَ الْيَوْمَ حَدِيدٌ. We have removed that cover off your eyes. Your eyesight is like steel, like iron. You can see it as sharp, laser sharp. Now you get to see things that you're not focusing on in this earthly life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the two choices. Either Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the hellfire. That is, the more people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in there would ask, Hal min mazid, is there more? Is there more and more and more? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the Jannah. And the Jannah on the other side, وَأُزْلِفَتِ الْجَنَّةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ غَيْرَ بَعِيدٍ. The Jannah got close, was made closer to the muttaqeen, to the believers. You're all about this decision, the decisions you make. You know how important our decisions in our daily lives? You decide everything. All our lives is decisions. Today you're gonna go to work. Are you gonna take a bus or are you gonna take a car? You're gonna go to work. You're gonna find a job. Are you gonna work this company or that company? This kind of work or that kind of work? You want to go to school? Which decision? You're gonna be a doctor. You're gonna be an engineer. You're gonna be a business major. You're gonna be a history major. Decisions. You want to get married? Decisions. You want to even pick something as simple as picking a pair of shoes for you to wear? Decisions. How about the decision of where you're going to end up after this life? Are you going to end up in the Jannah? That is so beautiful, that's indescribable. Or the decisions you're going to be making is going to land you in the hellfire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us. And that would be the worst thing you could do to yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the surah talks about the three elements of these decisions, how it affects you. Number one is waswasa, is that people translate it into the whisper. The waswasa is something different. The waswasa is not a whisper, is basically when an idea that gets inserted into your head and you think is yours. This is a major influence factor on somebody. The other factor is a qareen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, there's qareen, there's somebody who's an accompanying, somebody who is associate of yours. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assigned a shaitan for every human being. He walks with him, he works with him, he dissuades him, he gets him off the path. That's the second one. The third element is the nafs, yourself. If you raise a sharp, focused, or you're in a state of ghafla, you're in a state of distraction, you're in a state of not focusing. These three elements is the one that you need to keep an eye on, and it's been deciphered for us. It's been broken down for us to be careful, to be watchful of what is going to influence our decisions overall here on the face of this earth, overall. The next surah, Surah Al-Dhariyat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also starts with وَالذَّارِيَاتِ ذَرْوًا فَالْحَامِلَاتِ وَقْرًا فَالْجَارِيَاتِ يُسْرًا فَالْمُقَسِّمَاتِ أَمْرًا. It's swearing 4 times. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by Dhariyat, the wind that picks up and blows from one direction to the other. And it is that carries, the moisture in it, and carries dust in it, and carries things with it. فَالْجَارِيَاتِ يُسْرًا, and some of them, they run with smoothness inside of them. And وَالْمُقَسِّمَاتِ أَمْرًا, that is divide things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this surah mainly talks about generosity and giving. When you are making a decision, and this is about decisions, this is about choices, who would you choose? Would you choose the cheap and miserly, or would you choose the giving and the rich, and the one who has the resources, the one that gives and gives and gives? And you notice that also this decision related to us. Decisions in our lives, right? Which restaurant you want to go to? The one with the small serving or the big serving? The one that has more. Which friend would be more likable to you? The cheap and miserly one, or the one generous that gives you and really is very good host to you and your family? What place would you go to? The place that are generous and giving, or the place that are stingy and more stringent about the rules what they give? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks in surah about his generosity. Choose him. Pick his way. Go on the ways of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he is the most giving. He's the generous. He's the ghani. He's not needy of anyone, and everybody's in need of him. He is the one that is rich, and we are the poor. We are needy of his ways, and nobody is equal to his generosity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this surah brings the examples of giving. One of the examples Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about is Look at the diyafa, and this is a metaphor here. Look at the example of ضيف إبراهيم المكرمين. Have you know the story about the guests of Ibrahim when they come to him? They came to him and he did not recognize them. He said greetings, he said salam to them. And then he told them, he asked them humbly to sit down. And then he went out of generosity and he slaughtered one big fat calf for them. He slaughtered it, he cooked it, and he brought it to them. And he says, eat. Look at the generosity, look at the giving. And they looked at him and they were not interested in the food. He got scared. He says, why aren't you interested in the food? Why aren't you interested? And this is a question to you and I. Why wouldn't you be interested in what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is offering us? Why wouldn't you want this Jannah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this Jannah is here for you. Come to it, grab it. There's a place signed for you. Your name is on it. A place that you cannot even imagine, no matter how big, how unbelievable your imagination is, that place would be even better by far. So what they did is that they looked at the food, they were not interested, and he got scared. He says, what are you guys? We want something different. They said, well, we are here because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent us to send the torment and the torture upon the people of Lut. So when he said that, when they told him that don't be scared, we're doing this, they said, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving you the bushra, giving you the good news that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant you a son. Look at the generosity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't stop. Gives and gives and gives. And even when things seems to be, cannot be achieved. An old man, he's over 100 years old. His woman over 90 years old. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells him, says, you're going to have a child. Even his own wife, the barren wife, Sarah, she looked up, she started to slap her, cheeks. And she walked in on them after she was kind of sneaking in with listening to the conversation. She slapped her cheeks. She says, how? Ajuzun aqim? I'm an old woman. How can I bear a child? The angel said, in this the ayah, it says, كَذَلِكِ قَالَ رَبُّكِ. That's the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Choices. Make a choice. And the best choice you do, the best path you take is the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the generous. Don't go the path of the ones who have nothing to give. They have nothing to offer, and they cannot even benefit themselves, and they cannot benefit. Surely they can never benefit you either. Surah At-Tur, and Surah At-Tur is basically a general sense of the surah. It talks about that you're stuck, or you're all about the decisions you make. What decision you make, whatever decision you make, the end result will be on you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about what Tur, talking about the Tur. Tur is the mountain, the holy place in Sinai that we don't know where it is today. We have no idea where it is. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by that place. وَكِتَابٍ مَسْطُورٍ, the written book, and talks about فِي رَقٍ مَنْشُورٍ, in a spread sheets. وَالْبَيْتِ الْمَعْمُورِ, and he swears by the house that it is in heaven, that is equivalent to the Kaaba here on earth, that the Malaika, the angels, they make Hajj to it on every day. 50,000, they make Hajj to it every single day. They never come back to it ever again. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ عَذَابَ رَبِّكَ لَوَاقِعٌ, the torture of the torment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is coming. لَا مَا لَهُ مِن دَافِعٍ, there's nothing will push it away from you. Nothing will put it away from you. Nothing will preserve you away from it. It's coming no matter what. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَوَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ. Al-wayl, upon the mukaddibeen, the deniers, the ones the rejectors, the ones who are not believers, who are not following the path. الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي خَوْضٍ يَلْعَبُونَ, the ones who are playing around. Talking about this, as graphic picture as it is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings another picture, which is so beautiful, so amazing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ الْمُتَّقِينَ فِي جَنَّاتٍ وَنَعِيمٍ. The muttaqeen, the fearful ones, the believers, they are in Jannat, plural Jannah. Na'im, in the most amazing, beautiful places that you can be. فَاكِهِينَ بِمَا آتَاهُمْ, they are enjoying what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. وَوَقَاهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ عَذَابَ الْجَحِيمِ. The biggest of all is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected them from the torture and the torment of the hellfire. كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا هَنِيًّا. Eat and drink of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. You know, in this Jannah, مُتَّكِئِينَ عَلَى سُرُرٍ. They are leaning on a pillows that is soft on their sides. وَزَوَّجْنَاهُمْ بِحُورٍ الْعِينِ. And we brought حور العين to them, is their company and their azwaj. They are pairs that they come to them in the Jannah. And on top of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and the good doers here from their family, they will be joining them in the Jannah also as well. Look at the ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You get to have the best on this earth and the best in the life after, from the best of both worlds in that Jannah, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that we are a end result of what the decisions we make. You make the decision today, whatever your decision is, you're going to get it afterwards. Be careful with that decision. Watch out. Watch out with the most important thing in your life. The biggest, the most important decision in your life. Decision of to follow the path of Deen, the path of Islam, the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Surah Al-Najm, the next surah inshallah, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also swears by one najmi idha hawa, the star when it falls down. It talks about when this decision or these choices not to be made with something of surmising or of thinking. It has to be built on solid foundation. It cannot be with something that you're suspicious of. It has to be something you are sure of. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings this example and he says, look at Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. مَا ضَلَّ صَاحِبُكُمْ وَمَا غَوَى. And you notice that the most important thing is that what we deal with here on the face of this earth is credibility. When you turn on the news, for you to listen to any kind of news, what do you say? Is this person, is he reputable? Is this person reputable? Is this website, can it be trusted? You are dealing with, let's say, a stock market. You got some news about stock. Is this news correct? You open up a book in your hand. How truthful is that book? Whatever the news, whatever is in it. How about your prophet? How about this news about this deen? About the one who carried this deen and brought it to you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How solid is he? How credible is he? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا ضَلَّ صَاحِبُكُمْ وَمَا غَوَى. Your friend, your associate, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never went astray and he has never been misguided. وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنْ الْهَوَى. And he's not speaking out of his own will. He's not speaking out of his own lusts and desires. He's only speaking of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed upon him. Trust in him. Trust in that. Make your decisions built on solid sources, not suspicious sources. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought the issue of dhann, which is surmising or thinking, twice in the surah. Talks about is that, you know, how people would choose path. They said, إِنْ هِيَ إِلَّا أَسْمَاءٌ سَمَّيْتُمُوهَا أَنْتُمْ وَآبَاؤُكُمْ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ بِهَا مِنْ سُلْطَانٍ. If you choose other than the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, other than the deen of Islam, is path and ways that you make up. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never brought it in, never revealed it to anyone. You're just making stuff up and you go and buy it, you give it credibility and you give it enough credit and you just go and buy it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speak of, you need to rely on solid resources for these decisions and for these choices that you make in your own life. And there's no more credible decision than following the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he's credible, he's strong, he's able, Prophet, our leader, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The next two surah, Surah Al-Qamar, the moon, and Surah Al-Rahman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about, if you want to include it in that meaning, Surah Al-Qamar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings in it Surah the moon, talks about all the nations, what has happened to them because they did not follow the path. If you don't follow the path, this is the end result. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after He showed us all the deen, asking us to make decisions, now, when you are making this decision, when you're going through this process of making decision, What is your destiny here on the face of this earth and the life after? Look at Surah Al-Qamar. Look at the evildoers, what have they been through. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about, look what has happened to the very first nation, Nuh alayhi salam. كذبوا عبدنا وقالوا مجنون وازدجر. They said that they denied him and they said he's a crazy man and they pushed him away. وازدجر. قال ربي إني مغلوب فانتصر. I said, Ya Allah, I've been defeated, I've been overcome. Ya Allah, give me nasr, give me help from your side. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we open the gates of heaven and the gates of earth with water, flooded them and destroyed them all. Make sure you decide. If you don't make the right decision, you will be punished here on the face of this earth and you will be punished in the life after. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, at the end of it, it says, وَلَقَدْ تَرَكْنَاهَا آيَةً فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. We have left it as a sign and a signal. Anybody remember? When you're making this decision, make sure that you're going to make the right one, because this is the end result if you don't make the right one. The next nation is the people of Ad, the same thing. أرسلنا عليهم ريحا صرصرا في يوم نحس مستمر. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent wind to them and plucked them off of the face of this earth and tossed them around like bushes and twigs in a very dusty, stormy, windy day that did not leave a single person alive. Look at your decision. What are you going to end up with? Are you going to be like the people of Nuh, the people of Ad, or the people of Thamud, where they denied Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Give them a signal, give them the naqa, give them that camel as a sign. What did they do? They sent their worst criminals and they slaughtered the camel. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did with them? We have sent to them a scream, sayha, a scream that killed them in any place and anywhere they were. Nowhere, no place are safe from our punishment. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the people of Lut, the next nation. We have sent to them tortures, stone being thrown at them from above them. Except the people of Lut. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have saved them in Sahar time. Sahar time is before Fajr. Like when we make suhoor at that time, before Fajr. نِعْمَةً مِّنْ عِنْدِنَا كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي مَنْ شَكَرَ. We have saved them as ni'mah from us. We have saved them once. On the other side, showing this dark, grim picture of the end result of the bad choices, the bad decisions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings Surah Al-Rahman. Beautiful surah. We love to hear it all the time. Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, خلق الإنسان. Beautiful, beautiful surah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the ni'am of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Why are you denying? With what? 33 times this mention. Why? With what ni'mah? With what greatness? With what generosity? With what are you denying? Are you denying anything? Look what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. Look what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided you. And on one side, the Surah Al-Qamar, look at the end result of these bad nations, what's happened to them. If you make that bad decision, you're going to end up like them. In this one here, look what you are depriving yourself from. Look what you're putting away from what you're supposed to be getting. And what is surah is? Ar-Rahman. Ar-Rahman is the one who provides rahmah with everything. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, unusual about this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only talking about mankind, talking also to jinn. Because if you notice, Jannatan, there's two Jannah. One Jannah for mankind, one Jannah for jinn kind. Each one of them is different. One Jannah like this, one Jannah like that. 33 times the whole warning coming back. What are you denying? What is it you're not convinced with? And the choices, the decision is yours. But say it. What is it possibly you could deny? Can you deny the ni'am of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what He has given you? Surah Al-Waqi'ah. The Waqi'ah is the day of judgment. Also about choices. Choose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us 3 choices of people. You will end up 1 out of 3. Either the people who hold their book in their right, the good doers, their good deeds, and this is the ones who carry their book on the right hand. Or the bad doers, the evil doers, they will hold their book on the left hand. 2 choices. But there's one more. السابقون, the ones who are far ahead, who beat everybody, way ahead of the race. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts with those. It says, ثُلَّةٌ مِّنَ الْأَوَّلِينَ. There are few, uh, there few, or there's a lot from the awwaleen, from the beginning of time, and there are few from the end of time. The gate is not closed yet. The door is not closed on this category. The category is open. But the end of time, there are few who can gain this kind of category, who can enter from the ones who are far ahead of everybody else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about them. Ala sururin mawduna. They are laying down on couches, lined up, and they are leaning on soft pillows, and they have wildan. Their creatures are created only for their service in the Jannah. They come to them with pitchers, and they have a glasses only for them. They have in it beautiful wine that would never make them drunk, would never give them headache, and will give them fruit of whatever is that of their own choosing or their own imagination, and the meat of whatever they can possibly desire, whatever it is that their hearts would want. وحور العين, and the حور العين, the beautiful, servant, the beautiful women that are, roaming around you, all around these people, the sabiqun, they are like pearls. They are like pearls, how beautiful as they are. And all this jaza'an bima kanu ya'malun is a reward of what they were doing. The other one is ashabul yamin, the people of the right book. Wama, ashabul yamin, wama ashabul yamin, the ones who carry the book. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about them. Fi sidrin makhdud wa talhin mamdud. They're sitting in gardens. They have, it's filled with fruit, and it has widespread all kinds of shade. And it has water pouring from around them, ma'in maskoob. A lot of fruit is there, around them. لا مقطوعة ولا ممنوعة. The fruit is always provided, would never stop, always provided with abundance to them. And they have these حور العين that they are like, this is the word version, when people talk about version in the surah here. وفرش مرفوع إنا جعلناهن أبكارا عربا أترابا. They're all equal, they're all beautiful. They are for the أصحاب اليمين. On the other side, أصحاب الشمال, the people who carry their book in their left hand. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never make us from those. These أصحاب الشمال, these are provided with food from, lava, and their drink is from lava, and their food from zaqum, bitter and horrible. They'll be tortured. They will be in severe pain. Life is about choices. Do you want to be ahead of the pack? That is your place to be. If not, you're going to be from the people of good doers. That's a good place to be. But definitely never be from the ones who are left behind, the evil doers. These are the ones who lost their earthly life and lost their life after. We'll end right now, inshallah, with Surah Al-Hadid. Surah Al-Hadid is a chapter all by itself, but I'm going to be talking about it right now quickly. Surah Al-Hadid is about mizan, about the qist, about choices. But when you make a choice in this deen, is either to be materialistic or to be spiritual, or to be like true Muslim is, to gain some materialism in your life and some spirituality in your life, to be able to combine them both, to live right there in the middle. Not to be like the Jews, where they picked the materialistic life, or the Christians with their monkhood or monkship, and they were monks, and the only way to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to denounce and leave all earthly means or all earthly life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this surah is Surah Hadid, is the mizan, is the scale. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought the hadid? The hadid, if you notice, what is if you look at the scale of hadid, it has number 56 on the chemical scale. It has 56, and the highest of all is about 120, and the lowest is 0, which is it goes down to hydrogen, goes down to really low. So the iron or the steel is right there in the middle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we have revealed the steel to be a scale in the middle of between the elements, as the elements scale between the both. It's right there in the middle to give us an example of what we should be picking and choosing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of this surah about the good doers what they're going to end up with, and the evildoers, what they're going to be leaving behind. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah, this is going to leave you on this one, inshallah. Alam ya'ni lilladhina, ayah number 16. Alam ya'ni lilladhina amanu an takhsha'a qulubuhum li dhikrillahi wa ma nazala min al-haqq. ولا يكونوا كالذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبل فطال عليهم الأمد فقست قلوبهم. Isn't, is it, isn't it time for the believers, for their hearts to be submitting, to be in khushu', to be in complete obedience and humbleness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for the haqq that has been revealed upon them, and do not be like the people of the book before them, where it's been a long time they've been dealing with this, and the elements kind of influence them, and their hearts become hard, become tough, that is impenetrable. They become so attached to this earthly life. It's time for you to make that decision and to be right there in the middle, to choose your path. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the ones, inshallah, who are successful in this earthly life, and inshallah gain Jannat al-Firdaus in this month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the forgiveness and wipe up all our sins, inshallah.